Hello everyone. Today in this video we will talk about association, aggregation and composition from the OOPS concepts. Okay, so these are like a lot of times asked questions, but we are not sure about like how to we differentiate them very clearly. Like we have used them in our day-to-day life or in the day-to-day codes and all. Okay, but we are not sure what actually they mean. Okay, so today I'll explain to each one of these terms what they actually mean, and even we will see the code. Okay. First, let's talk about association. And when we talk about these things, association, aggregation, composition, you might have seen this image a lot of times. Okay, let's try to understand in very simpler way what actually this means. Okay, so association, as I will first read the definition and then I'll give you a gist or a just required part of it. Okay, this is a broad term that defines a relationship between two separate classes, which is established through their objects. The association can be of various types, like one to one, many, one to many to one, and many to many. Okay, so for example, a teacher object has associated with multiple student objects in one to many relationship. Okay, so association is directly you can say it's one of a type of a has a relationship where you have one to one or many to many or a different type of mappings. Okay, so you can have anything. So this is like a you can say a normal terminology where in one of my class, let's say a teacher class, I'm using another student object classes. Okay, or student objects. Okay, so my teacher is one and there are many students, so it's one to many relationship. Similarly, you can have one to one also, like one teacher may be assigned as a class teacher of a one class. So one teacher assigned as a class teacher of a one class, so that's one to one mapping. Okay, similarly there are other pretty examples. Okay, like one teacher assigns to one of the staff rooms, so like that. Okay, maybe the teacher is having a single staff room. Okay, so that's a term which I have thought of. Now this is a association. It's a normal straightforward. You have an object or a list of objects inside is used in some other class. Okay, now we will talk even aggregation and composition, and then we will compare all by seeing the code. Okay, so aggregation, I'll first read the definition. This is a specialized form of association where relationship is a has a type, but lifetime of the owned object doesn't depend on the owner. It represents a whole part relationship. For instance, a college can have a list of department objects, but the instance of department object is not strictly tied to the college. Okay, so this is also like one part you can say more ahead of association. Now here we call aggregation as a particular has a type has a type relationship. Okay, now there's one term you might see it over here. It's called whole part relationship. This is was not existing in the association. Now we'll try to understand what actually is the difference between association and aggregation first. Okay, then we will even compare the composition. Now, in association, it's just a term like one class can hold list of other objects of other class and they are not dependent. Okay, so this is straightforward. One class can hold object of other class and they are not dependent. It can be any type mapping like one to one, many to many, or one to many. Okay, now in aggregation, we have a whole part relationship. Now in aggregation, everything is going by the way we are talking or way we are saying about. Now whole part relationship is when whole is a means which is the complete and part which means it's a part of that complete mapping. Okay, so so here you can see they have taken a example of a college and a department. Okay, now college is a whole part. Okay, whole you can say, and then departments are part of the colleges, so that makes aggregation you can say in a bit more joint than the association, like it's much more closer. Okay, much more closer than the association. Now now here you have a college and departments. Okay, so college and departments are very much linked. Okay, like in the first example, like teacher students, there one student can even have different teachers. Okay, so they are not directly so close. Okay, but departments will definitely have a college. Okay, so that's a called a whole part relationship. Okay, now that's where aggregation is much more closer than the association. And if you just go by the code, they are much more simpler. It's a term, it's just a terminology which we have to understand between the association and aggregation. Association is like a board concept where the two entities are not that much related. It can have even anything. Aggregation is like these entities are related to somehow. Now that somehow is much more closer than the association. Straightforward. Okay, so if you someone asks about association aggregation, say association is a broad term when you talk about two objects. Okay, aggregation you can say it's much more of a closer term. Okay, college can have list of departments. Now they both make a whole and a part relationship. Okay, but teachers and students, like students can have even different teachers, so this doesn't make a very close relationship. Okay, Now let's understand the composition. Even composition is like very much different than all of three. Okay, so it's very much easy to understand also. So first we will read the definition. This is also a type of association but with a stronger relationship. In association, the lifetime of the owned object is managed by the owner, meaning the owner object is destroyed, the owned objects are also destroyed. It represents a stronger whole part relationship. The classic example is a relationship between a house and a room. The house is destroyed, the rooms within it also cease to exist. In straightforward, I'll tell you, composition means, now just take the example of, maybe we'll take the example of college and department only. Okay, so college is having a list of departments. Okay, now in composition they are saying college is nothing but is owning all the departments. Departments cannot exist on its own. That's what the composition means. Okay, that my departments, or where I'm having a hazard or a list of other things coming into mine. Okay, other objects coming into my classes, those cannot exist independently. They will die when the owned object class dies. Straightforward. That means college dies, then all the department dies. This is what the composition means, but this is not an actual. Okay, so that's why they have taken example of a house and room. Okay, so house is destroyed, that means even rooms are not existing, because we cannot have rooms just like that. We will call it a house only. Okay, that's why this example. Now we will check their codes, try to understand them much more deeper. Okay, composition is basically, you can say, you can make it achievable via the code. Okay, aggregation is very straightforward, association is also very straightforward. Composition, we can achieve this via code. Okay, our code can make a complete, you can say, terminology or system as a composition, where if I kill my owned object, my other dependent objects will also be getting killed. Okay, so this is what composition can do. Now let's just go to our examples and then let's check. First, we will go to the association. But on the left hand side, you can see I've already created a up concept package. Under this package, I have aggregation, association, and also composition. Okay. So first we will check student association. That's one of the association class. I've written it down. Okay. In this, I'm just using a name. That's it. Okay. And yeah, and rest, I've created a teacher association class. In this, again, I'm taking one as a name. Okay. I'll just show to you. Yeah, and also I'm having a list of students. Now this is what my association example, if I just show to you. Okay, so you can see we were having a teacher object which are having multiple students. Okay, so this is what we will try to also maintain it. Okay, now this is straightforward, and rest all things are like getters and setters method and public constructors. So public constructor is like teacher, I'm just taking a name and I'm assigning it, and I'm also creating a new array list for my student association. And if we just check the student association, it just have a name, a public constructor for setting the name, and then rest are getters and setters. Okay, now let's just go to the client association. Now here it's a bit important to check how we are creating the associations. Okay, association was meaning like one to many mapping, or one to one, or many to many mapping. It just one class can have a list of another objects. Okay, or even can have just one object. Here I'm taking one to many. Okay, so I've created two different objects of student association, and then I'm adding into one of the list. Okay, created one list on my own. Then I'm creating an object of teacher association, and I'm just setting the student association with the getters and setters method basically. Okay, so this is what I've done it. Now to even check them how it's run, they are added or not, so we can just run them and check it. So this will make it as a look like it's a association format. Okay, I'll just run it out. Yeah, it ran. So you can see Ronak studies in Ankita's class and Amit studies in Ankita's mom class. Okay, straightforward. So association is a normal, you would have used it in your day-to-day life anywhere, but in a lot of places. The thing is like now you're getting to know the terminology. Okay, like interviewer might ask us what is association, so we might not able to tell us. Now we can tell them definitely because we have used them a lot of times. Okay, but we are just not knowing what it actually means. Okay, now we will check aggregation, then we will check the comparison also. Okay, as I told, comparison is mainly between the terminology between association and aggregation. Composition is a way different. Okay, now let's just go to the aggregation part. So yeah, there I've created department college type. Okay, so first let's check the college. So college, I've created a name of a college, and I need list of departments in my college. Okay, so again similar patterns. College is like a public constructor, and rest all are getters and setters. Okay, if I just go to the departments, again department is just having a name and then a public constructor, and rest all are the getters and setters. Okay, if I just go to the client aggregation, yeah, So you can see I've created two of my departments. One is computer engineering and EC engineering. This I just to create it. You can even create a lot of, okay. Then I created again a list similar like association, you can see, okay. I'm adding them in an array. I've created one college, okay, Sarkar Engineering College, and then I'm setting the departments. Then I'm just running them to get the departments. Now you see this code is much more you can say it's same only as of association. Now the codes are much more same in associations and aggregation. Only difference is the between the terminology how we speak, okay. Teacher and students are like not much more closer, but departments and college are like much more closer, and they are a whole part relationship, okay. So it's just the terminologies and the way we take the objects or our classes, how they're related. That's what make the difference between aggregation and association, okay. Even I will run this out. Let's check about the output. It's similar as association, okay, but I'll show to you. Yeah, so computer engineering is from Sarkar College Engineering, and C engineering is also from Sarkar Engineering College, okay. So I just created them. Now yeah, so you even understand the difference. It's not a much of a code difference, it's just a terminology how we speak about it, okay. Association is a broader term, okay. Aggregation is a very closer term between two objects. Now let's go to the composition. Composition is a very interesting part, okay. So I've already created example for in college and college and departments only. I've not went to house and room, okay, because from here only we will understand how we are actually creating composition. Like you would have used it a lot of places in your code, but you're not knowing what is composition basically, okay. So composition, again, name is created, then I've created my department list, okay. Same as that of a aggregation. And then again name, this is now a public constructor. Then I've created a function called add department. You can even do via set parameters and get parameters, but I've just kept it as a add department. No issues on that, okay. Rest all are setters and getters. In the composition, I'll go to the departments. Department will only have a name. Let me just check it. Yeah, I've not used anything else, just a name, then a constructor, and then rest all are getters and setters. Now let's just go to the client composition. This is the interesting part, okay. Now you will be seeing here I have created a college composition, or you can say college object first. RN Engineering College, okay. Now I will be passing department objects in add department over there, okay. So here you can see I'm directly creating a new department composition over, like that means new department objects over here, CSC, EC, and a Mac, okay. And then in the end, when I have to check the college composition, okay, I'm just running a for loop on the college composition, and I'm printing all the departments. Now let's assume in the future I kill my college composition object. You can see now suddenly all my department objects are also gone with that. I don't have anywhere, and I don't have them in different places. Now this is how from the code, okay, we can create the composition. Now my college association is the owner entity, and my departments are the child entities. The moment my college association object dies, all my department also goes with it. This is how we can achieve by our code. And you might have also used it in many of your places, but the thing is like we don't know what is it is called, okay. So now you will be knowing it when your objects used in another classes, okay, they don't have any other references in any other anywhere, okay. And when your own object is killed, then your all linked, or you can say attached objects also getting killed. So this is what the composition is, okay. I think you would have understood the difference between now all three. Association is like a border term between any two objects having some relationship, one to one or many to many, any type of mapping also. Aggregation, it's a very close type of relationship, and it has a whole and a part, where you can call like a college and a department, you can call them as a very close relationship, okay. Composition is like a owner, and there is an dependency of the child on the owner, okay. If owner dies, the child also dies with it. So composition is a very closed relationship. So that's where we confirm this image, okay. So this image is like we have, yeah. So association is a very broader term, okay. Anything can have one to one or any type of mapping. Aggregation, the way we talk, it's a very closer relationship. It has a whole part relationship, okay. Whole is which is complete, and then a parts of it, okay, which are adding into it. That's where college and department comes. Composition is very close, where if the owner dies, even the child dies with it, okay. So I hope you guys would have understood it. If you still have some questions, put it in the comments. I'll check it out. I'll reply over there. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.